The Silent Letters podcast is an extension of the Slater's Playhouse advice column. Like the blog, the podcast focuses primarily on responding to letters related to love, sex, romance, and relationships. However, the podcast airs some of our coaching sessions. Though everything we say during our podcast may not be what each and every person wants to hear, just know the advice is situational and catered to a specific person. With coaching, we do not tell others what they need to do. However, we provide them with suggestions of what they can do. Our coaching sessions are not a replacement for therapy. We focus on the future and look to the past for guidance only. If you desire to have a coaching session with us, please schedule your appointment on our website. If not, feel free to submit your letters to our advice column. And welcome to the Silent Letters podcast. All right, so I have a fun question for today's episode. So the question for today is, why is it that some men and women are comfortable with being the side piece nowadays? Child. Let's get into it. Reading this question, my first thought was to make the argument about how some do not know they are the side piece. Doing so would be refusing to answer the question as is. Some are willing to walk with honor of knowing they are involved with someone that is taken. For some reason, there is this voice screaming out because the person they are with allows them to. In a way, the side piece has been granted the right to feel comfortable. Truthfully, this is a tough question, but I am willing to unpack it. To keep objectivity and clear identifiers, I will refer to the side piece as side person and the individual they are involved with as intimate partner. I mentioned the idea that the intimate partner allows the side person to feel comfortable. This is not to say that the side person is to be treated less than or that they are unable to act by their own personal wishes. It is to say the intimate partner did not set clear boundaries of what is acceptable or not. Also, this is not to say the side person is aware their intimate partner is involved with another. This does happen. There are times where the side person feels entitled to their comfort due to specific beliefs their intimate partner allowed them to believe. Essentially, the side person has been fed lies, half-truths, untruths, or whatever else people code it as these days. This is focusing on situations where the person is aware they are on the side. When boundaries are not clearly defined, a person may tiptoe the line to see where the finite markings are, and some may just jump into a whole new continent. But the lack of established boundaries falls in the hands of the intimate partner. More on that later. Some side persons are comfortable with being a side person because they do not want commitment. They are using the intimate partner in order to have them fulfill a specific need. Sometimes the need is financial. At times, it can be emotional support. Most known, the need is just sex. Their comfort is in the consistency. I assume any person who uses dating apps understands the need for consistency from others. You might be asking, but why find consistency in another person's partner? This is a good question. Why? Consistency is hard to find regardless of how broad or small the selection pool may be. We all have different definitions of what we consider consistent. Using dating apps again, some may consider a person consistent if the other party sends messages daily. Others may see consistency as immediate responses as opposed to hours or days. The views are different and make it harder to find the consistency you are looking for. Often, when we find the person who matches our definition of consistency, we have found our gold. Now that we have found gold, we do not want to let it go. But you might be saying, but they're with another person's partner. I get that, but I have much more to dive into. As I said, this is a topic that requires some unpacking. With that unpacking, we must acknowledge jealousy and hurt. I am going to review jealousy through two lenses. The first lens is jealousy of what others have. This goes back to the needs and wants episode. At times, We become so insecure about what others have in their lives and what we do not. In this case, the simple presence of a partner. When this happens, we tend to grasp towards anything that resembles some version of a relationship, even the relationships we never wanted for ourselves. Of course, jealousy, like many things, has a negative side. I'm refusing to say ugly or bad side because it invalidates the complicated and valid experiences of the side persons who may have some emotional triggers that are responsible for their behaviors. When reading the original question, the word comfortable immediately brought up the image of the bold side persons who are open about their involvement with their intimate partner. The ones who would make posts on social medias attacking the intimate partner's partner, their lover. The ones who are not ashamed. Much of this stems from jealousy that they are not the person who is being chosen, meaning their intimate partner does not acknowledge them in a way they desire as opposed to the other parties within the equation. Think spite. Those who are at this point are having a reckoning within themselves. They are fighting the reality that their intimate partner is not in love with them. I feel as though these are the ones who have either been fed lies or lost themselves in their intimate partner and no longer recognize or see their worth. There's also a possibility the problem is deeper and requires some form of therapy, which is okay. Their jealousy, in my opinion, is rooted in their sense of security and hurt. I'm sure you have heard the cliche hurt people hurt others. When our sense of security is being threatened or taken away by another, even if that other is someone who might rightfully have the feelings of entitlement, we tend to want to fight to keep it. In doing so, we hurt others. Sometimes a side person may act out their hurt physically, but there are those who take the verbal or emotional route. Additionally, we tend to underestimate the impact of our internal hurt. Our past traumas impact our current actions. For some side persons, their past traumas provide them with the comfort of being in the relationship with their intimate partner. Being with their intimate partner may validate their experience that every person they choose to become intimate with will eventually leave them. They create a situation that makes this possibility inevitable. Or the side person made the choice to enter into a relationship with their intimate partner to validate a societal belief that all good partners are already taken. This takes me to my next topic. Whatever the case may be, let's not put blame on the side person. I had to yell it so that the people outside the club can hear the message. The side person does not owe loyalty to any person they have not agreed to be in a romantic relationship with. This does not mean the side person does not lack responsibility for their actions, but we often forget to address the intimate partner in these conversations. The infidelity would never exist if the intimate partner did not choose to act. And some people may be asking, but what if it's an open relationship? Okay, that's not the same thing. If it is an open relationship situation, well, a true open relationship, then the boundaries would be clear and there would be no infidelity. For those that are not within an open relationship, your partner cheated and they are at fault. Regardless of who the side person may be, other than like a close friend or family member, hold the intimate partner accountable for their actions as it pertains to your relationship. Lastly, the side person has every right to be comfortable with being involved with their intimate partner. If the person is single, let them do as they please in their single life. Now, for those side persons who are purposefully attempting to ruin their intimate partner's relationship, please do the work required to grow and find your sense of self worth. Taking another person's partner rarely works out in your favor. It is a hard lesson to learn, and the insecurities that often come with the success stories do not seem as though it is worth it. Also, rather than asking why is it that a side person is comfortable in their position as a side, we should really shift the conversation and ask why are intimate partners comfortable with having a side person? And that's the tea for another episode. By the way, Slater is in the process of working on the second book. This book will focus on online dating and sneaky links. Be on the lookout for updates. Thank you for listening to the Silent Letters podcast. You can subscribe to the podcast through your favorite podcasting app and find us on the web at slatersplayhouse.com. That's SLAYTORS playhouse.com.